It's Thursday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's real.
So I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's real talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on Thursday, day 388 in a row, guys. 388 days in a row. We've been here, dropping some positivity and reminding you that you are unbelievable. Yes, you. And it's only a matter of time before you uncover that unbelievable person within you. Each of us have that. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about evolution. My evolution. The evolution of the BeatSeat. You know, I went today to another school in order to play for a classroom of students, 7th and 8th graders. Now, there are no more honest individuals in this world than students, children. And to sit there in front of them and to put on a demonstration for them and to play the BeatSeat. I wish I could have filmed the entire thing. We did grab a little clip when I was putting on a demonstration for the teacher, for the director of music at this school. But our new thing is to hit every school. I got a philosophy, look, you can't bite off more than you can chew. So we're starting locally. Okay, our first school in the USA to order BeatSeats, Fairfield District. Okay, that's amazing. Now I got to hit Trumbull. I got to hit Darien, New Canaan, Greenwich, Wilton. There's so many school districts just in Connecticut. Then I have New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Then we start working our way up till we get to my man Brad up in Nova Scotia, Canada with the BeatSeat. You understand? You can't go and just take on the world at once, especially if you're doing something from grassroots. You got to start local, you got to build the buzz, and then you got to let magic happen. That's what I call it. You got to let magic happen. Now, part of that magic is the strength to continue on. That's a magic you need to generate. You're generating magic to continue on. Because the world around you, for the most part, is not really paying attention. They've got too much going on in their own lives. And they're not really concerned about what you do, how you do it, and where you get. Like, it's not their fault either, guys. Keep in mind, we're all just trying to survive in this world. Every single person, unless there's somebody who's already created and accomplished something, and they're sitting living the easy life, everybody else is trying to reach for that thing we're talking about, for that uniqueness. So evolution, though, guys, I mean, just think about this. How many times in the last 8 years since I invented the BeatSeat where I heard a negative comment? Oh, we have something like that. That'll never be as good as the Cajon. I've heard people say stuff like this. Now I'm starting to uncover the real truth. This is what I heard from one of the biggest drum manufacturers in the world. I didn't hear this. This is secondhand from my business manager. Hold on. Zabrowski. We got it, guys. I wasn't going to miss the Zabrowski for you. So this is from one of the biggest drum manufacturers on the planet. I won't say the name, but there's one that is the biggest, and this is it. And they said they think the BeatSeat is really cool. And they said that musicians have just gotten used to the fact that the Cajon is extremely uncomfortable. They just assumed, look, we'll work with it. This is what they said to us. We'll work with it. We'll just figure out how to, yeah, it's uncomfortable. You got to bend over. I only have one panel. Oh, but that's what we got. I'll work with it. And, Laura kept saying, like, you work with it, but isn't that the problem? Everybody's just thinking they have to do this. They've trained themselves to be uncomfortable when you can sit completely upright and play with your entire body. Where you can look, we're going to talk about the evolution now, okay? So think about this. I've been talking about how I designed the first drum for a guitar player. And they look amazing sitting next to guitars. But there's a style of finish, a guitar style of finish, that usually you'll see it more in electric guitars than acoustic. But I've got so much to share. I can't share yet, but I will say this, okay? Somebody, this master luthier from a guitar company that we're speaking to, we're trying to get this thing out to everybody, guys. So we're not just reaching to percussion companies. We're not just reaching out to special needs individuals and music therapists. We're reaching out to everybody. It is the first drum for guitar players. So what I'm doing is reaching out to guitar companies. And so one of the biggest guitar companies on the planet, we met them at NAMM. They loved the BeatSeat. And they said, you know what? If we send you our wood, would you be open to building us a BeatSeat to give to our CEO and see what he thinks? And we're like, yeah, of course. So they send me the wood. You see the one on the right? That's flame maple. You can't really see it well because of all the lighting, but flame maple snare, and both sides are flame maple, and then it's a mahogany front, mahogany top, back, bottom, all mahogany, real hardwood mahogany. Absolutely stunning, okay? The one next to it. So I built one for them. The one on the right I have there, I built for myself, and then I built one for them. They sent me enough wood to build two. So then they sent me a photo with their logo above it. I won't say the name of the company, blah, blah, BeatSeat. And they put it on there just so they could show the CEO. And they sent me a picture back, and it looked like this one on the left. And they said, hey, look, you know what? We thought it would be really cool if we took your BeatSeat and we gave it a SunBurst finish. And I said, I was like speechless when I saw this the first time. I'm going to quickly go over and grab it and flip it around for you so you can see it. I want you guys to see just how ridiculous this is. This is our newest version of the BeatSeat. You can order this model. You can order any BeatSeat model, and for a $100 upgrade, I will SunBurst it for you, and it will look just like this. Check this out. And by the way, hi, Patience. So check this out, guys. Look at this. I don't know if you can see the snare at all, but it's all flame maple. And I just want you guys to hear how she sounds. I just want you to hear how she sounds here real quick before I go back and do a little real talk for you. But this beautiful baby right here has two snares. Here's number one. Does that not sound like the most amazing snare in the world? All right, let me just play that for a second alone. Now let's get some bass in there. How about that? Going great until then. I was going great until then, guys. I love this new BeatSeat. I'm loving this new BeatSeat. And I got to tell you, I love the way it sounds. Forget the way it looks, although it looks completely insane. But the way that freaking thing sounds, am I the only one? I'm the only one in here, so I don't know. But that thing sounds ridiculous. Oh. I mean, anytime I can get onto a beat like that, I'm like, yeah, it's the sound coming out of the drum. It's not the guy sitting on it. It's the sound coming out of that drum that gets me going. Steven, my brother. Jazz. Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad to see you guys on here. And then, of course, my man Brad is on. And I see 3, 5, 7. I see a number over here. Guys, YouTube it. Subscribe and ding the bell. That's where the show goes. I've been here for 388 days in a row, just trying to bring some light into this world. There's too much darkness. You can just throw a stone and hit someone who's got some darkness for you. I'm trying to do something different, all right? I'm realizing that every platform's different as well. Like literally, everything's different. And one of the things that I'm now discovering, I mean, it's been around for a little while. I just didn't know how to do it. And now it's just like my thing. Like I've been dropping them like crazy on TikTok. And it's going to be my new TikTok thing. Like TikTok, I'll be dropping a few pieces of real talk, but mostly it's going to be stuff like this. And I don't know if I can get to it without, I'm going to have to show it to you when we get to the news section. You know what? Let's get into the news. What the heck, right? Let's get into the news. We're doing it early today. I got a couple stories for you guys. This is some crazy exciting stuff. News, we're coming at you. Wow. Did you guys hear about this? This has got me shaking in my boots. The new U.S.-Russia space race has begun, although Russia may be bluffing, but we're going to have Vladimir Putin on to get his perspective. Let's first read about it, and then I'm going to have Vlad come on. So let's check this out. Russia's space agency has approved the blueprints for the country's most powerful rocket since the 1960s space race. It's a 246-foot tall monster packing 10 separate engines in 5 stages. In theory, the new Yenisei rocket, named for the river in central Russia, could boost cosmonauts vast distances, allowing Russia to plan independent missions to the moon. With Yenisei, the Russians could compete with the Americans in a new wave of space exploration. So I wanted to get to the bottom of this, guys. I wanted to find out, what is Vladimir Putin doing over there? I mean, doesn't it seem a little crazy that he's getting involved in, with the space race again? I mean, try to just focus on some other stuff, Mr. Billionaire Putin. But look, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? I'm going to have him on. I want to hear his perspective here. Mr. Vladimir Putin, are you here with us today? Mr. Putin, can you tell us why? Well, first of all, are you really going to be dropping a rocket out into outer space? Just tell us what's going on over here, Vlad. What's the story?
Sometimes you need to fire people.
No, that's not the right one, Vlad. Hold on a second. We're going to get Vladimir's. That was for yesterday. I had another question for him. This is a follow-up when he goes to a different part of his castle. But listen, this is my question for him, and he answered for me.
Yes, good afternoon.
How you doing, Vlad?
I'm Vladimir Putin, and we will be having a rocket in outer space.
They have a rocket.
It will have 10 rockets,
10?
actually. Let's see you try to hang with us, Donald. I'm Putin. I'm putting in the work.
He's putting
Some
in the
people
work.
say, what is your name? I say, it's Vladimir Putin. I'm putting in the work. Well, you Putin in. You Putin in nothing. I'm putting in all the work. It's why I fired everybody. I make a rocket go to outer space, and you'll see me soon.
Why did you fire
I'm
everybody?
putting the time in. That's right. It's Vladimir Putin. Putin. I like pudding too. It's good. Have a good night.
All right, so basically that was Vladimir Putin. He was calling in to just tell us a little bit about his perspective on the space race. And I didn't understand really what he was saying there. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But I did have one more question. He did just fire his entire cabinet. And I wanted to find out, like in Russia, do they fire people? And when they fire people, do they... When they say get rid of people, like what do they mean by that? So I asked him, and this was his response to that question. Vlad.
Sometimes you need to fire people. I had a couple people that worked for me for years. I get rid of them. I did not kill. No, I don't kill. I just tell them they need to get out of my country before I kill. This is kind of how we do.
Okay, so he doesn't kill them, but he threatens that they need to leave the country before he kills them. So that is how Vlad does his thing. So look, this is the new show, guys. I did get one other message that I thought was very interesting. I don't even know where this comes from. It's kind of the whole Putin feeling here, but this came through randomly in my voicemail. Video message today was dropped. And I looked at it and I'm like, how did this come to me? First of all, you guys tell me, how did this get in my mailbox? Because apparently it was for Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what the story is. Check this out.
Hey, Pelosi, I'm going to win big league.
What was that? How did that come to me? I had to play it for you, but what the heck was that? I'm going to hear that again.
Hey, Pelosi, I'm going to win big league.
So that showed up in my mailbox today. And so my first move was to try to figure out how to protect myself. I said, I got to protect myself. So my very good friend, of course, is Christopher Walken. And I just called him and I said, look, you need to do this. You need to protect me to Christopher Walken. And this is what he had to say about the whole thing.
Last time someone told...
Of course, I didn't get that one working yet. What the heck is going on over here? Where are we, Walken? Where's Walken? I got to find him now. Wait, hold on. We got to put it back on. So
last time someone told me to do that, I stabbed him in the face with a soldering iron.
This was Walken's response when I told him to do something.
Forewarned.
I'm going to do something. I'm just telling you now, okay? Here we go. All right. So this is what Walken had to say when I tried to tell him to protect me.
Last time someone told me to do that, I stabbed him in the face with a soldering iron. Just forewarned.
Forewarned. Forewarned by Christopher Walken. I got to hear that again. That was a cool thing because I love Christopher Walken, and the fact that he gave me a personal message saying he'd stab me in the face with a soldering iron was pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Last time someone told me to do that, I stabbed him in the face with a soldering iron. Just forewarned.
Forewarned. I love that. This is one of my favorite bits. So I've got lots of little things like this that are going crazy on TikTok right now. And I'm not stopping. Like I did Gary V today, a really funny one of Gary V. I've got Dean Graziosi on deck. Like, it's so funny. You could do anybody now. Like I grab a picture and I'm like, oh, like the one I wanted to do, I didn't get a chance to. I'm going to get him for a future episode is Neil deGrasse Tyson. Cause I'm always doing space stories. So we're going to have Neil deGrasse Tyson as a special guest, regular character on the Real Talk program going forward, as well as many others, guys. Yesterday, you may have recalled, we did have Jeff Bezos on, and unfortunately, I had a bit of an issue with his audio. But if you guys recall what happened, someone broke into his cell phone. It was the Saudi prince. And I got him on the phone. I think I was one of the first people to speak to him about this. And this is what he had to say. I think I fixed the issue that we had originally. Let me see if it is fixed. I believe it is. Let's try. So this is his response to having his cell phone data broken into. If I can figure out where. Yeah.
Hi, Mark. Yes, thank you for having me on the program. I am absolutely bewildered by this information that the Saudi crown prince gained access to my phone records.
He's bewildered.
To my cell phone. So, to say the least, we are getting to the bottom of it. I have obviously shut down that device, and I will be getting him back. Bezos.
Bezos! He's got a call. He's got the last thing he says before he finishes is Bezos. I didn't know that. Phil, did you know that? Phil, we're going to do a duet, BeatSeat, and the song that Phil wants to play over there. But did you guys realize that all of this is possible? So this is the future of BeatSeat. Again, evolution, guys. I started with like this, where I was, let me see. I'll show you what I was doing. Where I'd get like my man Scarface up there, and I'd be like, hey, Manny. Hey, Manny. You gotta be kidding me, man. You kidding? Oh, okay. Hey, look at the pelican fly, Manny. Hey, oh, go ahead, pelican. Fly away, pelican. Hey, you're like a piece of white bread. It's toast, man. Okay? Hey. So that's what we were doing for a while, guys. And now we have the ability to get a little more creative with it. Oops. Knocking over drinks over here. So that happened. So anyway, guys, lots of stuff going on. Today we were in another school putting on a presentation for the BeatSeat. I want to line these things up. I want to line up speaking engagements for Real Talk. I want to line up new clientele for real estate. I've got huge plans for 2020, and I'm relying on you. That's right. I need you guys to think about me. When someone wants to buy or sell real estate, say, you know what? I know a guy who will take care of you. Someone wants to list their house, say, I know a guy who will broadcast from your house, who will fly a drone around your house once a month, and will show up and be there to push that property, to market that property, to negotiate on your behalf, to fight for your value. And so keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm going to play you guys a few songs as soon as we get through these stories. I broke in way early on my plan of getting into these Putin bits. But let's get to the news. I did promise I'd get the news going, so we might as well go. So here we go. We got the story out of the way with Putin and his silly thing, right? Yeah, we did. Supernova. Did you guys hear about this? This is not showing up properly on the screen. Sorry about that, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. The biggest celestial event of the year could happen tomorrow. I gotta know more. Sometime this week, you might be outside in broad daylight, look up at the sky and see a luminous orb as bright as the moon. Only it wouldn't be the moon. It would be something far more explosive, the dazzling after effect of a cataclysm hundreds of light years away. You'd be seeing the light from a supernova, the final, powerful flash of a dying star. Or you might see the regular old sky. Supernovas are really nearly impossible to predict, but astronomers have recently started discovering the rare possibility that with a little bit more enthusiasm than usual, thanks to some odd behavior elsewhere in the Milky Way, if the supernova did show up tomorrow, it would be the celestial event of the year, perhaps the century, leaving a cosmic imprint in the sky for all to see. In the night sky, the constellation Orion is most well known for his belt, a row of 3 luminous stars. For the last few months, though, astronomers around the world have been particularly interested in his right shoulder, the home of a star called Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse. Doesn't work. One of the brightest stars in the sky, Betelgeuse, which, yes, it is pronounced like Beetlejuice, it has been dimming much more than ever recently, and astronomers have long known that Betelgeuse is aging, and like many old stars, it's bound to explode sooner or later. Could this mystery dimming mean that a supernova might be imminent? Continue reading by reading. Really? Are you gonna make me click on something else to get to it? Oh, guys. Let's see if I can get the rest of it for you. Okay, even the view would be mind-boggling day or night. The Orion constellation can be seen from nearly everywhere on Earth, which means nearly everyone could see the exploding star. It would easily cut through the artificial light pollution that prevents 80% of the world and staggering 99% of the United States and Europe from experiencing a clear view of the night sky. Did you just hear that? 99% of the US and Europe does not experience a clear view of the night sky? Can't we just shut it all off at like 3? No, we gotta keep it on all night. Shut off all the outside lighting at like 1:30. I just want like 2 hours of pitch black darkness so I could see that sky. At a predicted brightness of a Betelgeuse supernova, you could be standing in the center of the biggest city in the world and you would certainly see it, said John Barentine, an astronomer of the Director of Public Policy at International Dark Sky Association. Dark Sky Association is a non-profit that works to mitigate light pollution. You couldn't miss it, said John Barentine. Even more spectacular, the display would stick around. The gleaming orb would remain visible for more than a year, perhaps even longer. How strange it would be to witness day in and day out, to understand for the most part, that a blaze is simply a natural wonder of the universe, but still feel on a deeper, more primitive level that the sky looks very wrong. The supernova wouldn't harm Earth. Betelgeuse isn't the sort of star whose demise would produce radiation that could roil the planet's atmosphere. At about 650 light years from here, Betelgeuse is nearby on a cosmic scale, but thankfully not close enough to cause any damage. So how might people react, judging by what happened in New York about a year ago? There would be confusion, even panic. One night in December, an aquamarine glow appeared over Queens, prompting 3,200 calls to 911 in a half hour. Residents shared videos and photos of the ghostly spectacle on social media, along with guesses for the source. Was this a bomb? Was it a climax of ground-shaking battle between superheroes? The real explanation was far less dramatic. The operator of an electrical power plant quickly chimed in on social media to describe the incident. Some equipment at the facility had short-circuited, and the malfunction sent a powerful current shooting into the air. The electricity jostled atoms of gas into the atmosphere, prompting them to emit blue light. Kinda cool. There's always a scientific explanation, isn't there? The most recent nearby supernova appeared long before people could panic about it on Twitter, which was in 1987, but it could be seen only in very dark parts of the southern hemisphere and far from artificial lights. Other examples are found deeper into history, 1604, 1054. Betelgeuse would provide a far better show. The other stars were thousands of light years away from Earth, rather than hundreds. I always wonder how they can determine that in 1604 and 1054 that there was a supernova. Like, how are they able to determine that? Somebody who's a scientist, let me know. I'd like to know that one. So that's a very interesting thing. Move on to the next story, guys. This one is a sad one for any New York Giant fan like me. Oops. Eli Manning. Eli Manning retiring from the NFL after 16 seasons with the New York Giants. It's the end of an era for the New York Giants. Longtime quarterback Eli Manning announced he will retire from the NFL on Friday. For 16 seasons, Eli Manning defined what it is to be a New York Giant, both on and off the field, Giants co-owner John Mara said in a statement. Eli is our only two-time Super Bowl MVP and one of the very best players in our franchise's history. He represented our franchise as a consummate professional with dignity and accountability. It meant something to Eli to be a Giants quarterback, and it meant even more to us. We are beyond grateful for his contributions to our organization and look forward to celebrating his induction into the Giants Ring of Honor in the near future. Manning, 39, just completed his 16th season in the league, all of them with the New York Giants. Manning helped lead the New York Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories. I watched them both. And he won the game's most valuable player in each. Both victories came against the New England Patriots. I'm sorry, all you Patriot fans, that the Giants are the only team that could take you off your stool. Do you guys realize what happened? The Patriots were 17-0. Was it 16-0? 17-0? They were 19-0? 19-0 when they got to the Super Bowl, and the Giants won. Now, nobody remembers this, but in the final week of, I think it was final week, maybe the second to final week of the regular season, the Giants almost beat the Patriots. They lost 38-35, but they were up in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, and Brady pulled one of those like Brady moments where he just put 12 on the board in like 2 minutes, and they won the game. But the Giants looked so good that game that I wasn't surprised that they were beating up the Patriots on Super Bowl Sunday. What it really comes down to is that final play. If you guys remember Eli Manning, he's in the pocket, and all of a sudden the defenders get through the line. And I've never seen anybody just, with all of the will, all of their might, continue to stay up. And this is a guy who would always go down. If anybody is a New York Giant fan like I was, there were many times where Eli Manning would fall down before he got hit. But he knew. He knew it was on the line. This is the last play. It's 4th down. And no matter what, he wasn't going down. You're going to have to blow the whistle for this guy to be called down because he's going to stay up. And somehow he's pulling himself away. And he just throws the ball down the field. Tyree catches it on his helmet. Catches it on his helmet. It was the greatest play in history. I've never seen a greater play. And I know that people say, oh, well, you had the, what's that one with Franco Harris where it bounced off of someone's helmet and he just caught it and ran away. Like, that's nothing compared to what Eli Manning did in that moment. He absolutely deserved the MVP, but more for his dedication and his commitment to self, his commitment to not giving up, his commitment to his team, his commitment to that effort that they made to get to Super Bowl Sunday. And he delivered. So I'm going to miss him. He was a great quarterback for the New York Giants. And I was a huge fan of the Giants. I don't watch football. I don't watch anything anymore. But I'm sorry, they were 18-0 going into the final game of the season. I didn't realize that. But just to say, these last couple of years, I've been kind of like not really into football. I just don't really watch anything anymore. Just too focused on being productive. That being said, awesome guy. He did so much for children. He was always giving back. And absolutely, he was a role model to children, people looking up to anybody in the NFL. He was doing his part to try to put out a good light there. And I think it's really a scary sport with all the CTE. But I'm going to miss Eli Manning. Definitely going to miss seeing him. Glad to have Daniel Jones, but I'm going to miss my man Eli. So let's wish him some well wishes. Okay, guys? If you guys were Eli Manning fans, shoot me a note here. Let's get a little real talk love for Eli today. 16 years. God bless the guy. Also made like $500 million, so he did okay. All right, so our final story of the day. This is something that I wanted to talk about. I know this is kind of a touchy subject, and again, I don't ever intend to offend anybody when I'm on Real Talk, but I am here to be real and to talk about whatever's going on in this world. And I have to say, when I was younger, I used to wonder this. I thought it was a very weird thing. And maybe we could have a little conversation about it without anybody ripping off my head for bringing this up. Roman Catholic priests have been celibate for 1,000 years, but this could change. So let's hear what they have to say. For almost 1,000 years, the Roman Catholic priests have been required to be celibate. But this age-old practice is now under fire with the suggestion that the rules should be relaxed by the Latin American Catholic Church. In response to such rumblings, a new book sets out a vigorous defense of priestly celibacy against the fashionable errors of its detractors. The book is particularly notable for being described as co-author Cardinal Robert Serra and the former Pope Benedict the, 13th? 14th? I can't even read that. So he resigned in 2013 and avoided public intervention at the time of his successor, Pope Francis. Does anybody, I haven't paid attention to this. Why did he resign? Can somebody tell me why he resigned? Okay, so since the former Pope has asked that his name and signature be removed, its publication is evidence that the divisions exist within the church. The relationship between the two popes is already very much in public eye following the release of a fictionalized biography about them. See, I didn't watch that movie either, guys. So maybe I should watch that before doing this story. Anyway, what is your take on this? My perspective has always been, and I know that the perspective is, oh, you're only married to God. But you guys have seen what's happened. And these are human beings, okay? You can't live a godlike life. You're not a god. You're a human being. And if you stop someone from being able to live their lives, and that means to procreate, that means to have a family, that means to be alive, not to shut down because you have God in your life, that you could still have God in your life. Absolutely still have God in your life. Now, I think that the takeaway, or maybe the confusion or disconnect here, is that these priests may lose their focus and they may just be too focused on trying to find a wife or a spouse or something, and it will detract them from their work in the church. Well, that very well could be the case, but if nobody is joining to be a priest anymore, you need to switch things up. And I think what you do is you tell people, look, I don't know how you do this, but you say, look, you're a priest. I'm not sure if you could even do this. I was going to say you give them some time to find a wife and like, hey, if it doesn't happen by then, sorry. I don't think you can cut people off from that. You know, that is something that started, like they said, over the last 1,000 years. But for the first, from Christ until 800, 900 AD, priests were married, popes were married, everybody was married. Everybody had families. And then all of a sudden, somewhere along the line, like 1,000 AD. I don't even know. Well, does anybody know when they came up with this whole celibacy thing? It definitely wasn't over the last, it wasn't 5,000 years ago. It wasn't at the beginning of the Catholic Church. It happened halfway through. Here we go, right here. Sorry. The universal requirement for celibacy was imposed upon the clergy with force in 1123 and again in 1139. But those decrees reflected a much longer tradition in the church in which self-imposed discipline of asceticism, including sexual continence, poverty, and abstinence, became the defining characteristics of the piety and of the priesthood. The view was first challenged in the 16th century, the rise of Protestantism. Guys, what's with me? I can't even speak today. But the bottom line is this. Celibacy, it's just clogging up their minds, guys. Let them get married, okay? Let them go out there and live their lives and preach the word of the Lord. You could still do that. And here's the thing. If you have enough priests and that priest's got a date tonight, you let the other one go and take the sermon. You know? Hey, Father Philip, look, I got a date on Friday. You think you could take my sermon? You're free? You're the best, Father. Yeah, I met this amazing woman on clergy.com. But seriously, like, I think times for changing, first of all, and there has been so much just like negativity that's come out over the last 15 years, and it's based on these people being celibate. It's that simple. Oh, you're not allowed to have a relationship with anybody but God. Okay, well, I'm human. And then all these stories come out. And by the way, that's just the stories we know about. And it's massive. It's massive. There are people that probably are telling stories and they're still like, yeah, that person's lying. They're not lying. They have no proof. All we have are the ones that have been proved, and it's massive. Let them get married. Get that church back on track. I think our society is pushing us all away from churches. I mean, doesn't it seem like that's what's going on? Everyone's online getting their information. They're definitely not religious anymore. Everyone's self-interest. It's like, it's this whole TikTok world we live in, right? Everything's about a quick 15-second laugh. There's no attention span anymore. I'm doing an hour-plus show on a daily basis. Nobody has the ability to stay on for 30 seconds. Everybody says it to me like, what are you doing an hour for? Nobody's watching. I said, that's not the point. You guys don't understand. The point isn't that I go on and everybody's going to, I'm going to go watch Mark for an hour today. If you do, good for you. But most people aren't going to do that. But if you could tune in for 30 seconds, I think it's the 30 seconds you were meant to tune in. That's what I believe. And I'm here for an hour, yeah. But the content's ever flowing. So whenever you tune in, you're getting positivity, you're getting energy, you're grabbing onto some content. There is some excitement there, some enthusiasm. You're not going to tune in and ever find me like this. Except right now, if you just tuned in right now, you'd be like, what's Mark doing? He's like this? Yeah, because I'm trying to tell you guys, I'd never do that. Oh, this is my favorite thing, guys. I love when I get to these moments when I'm just sitting here. And it's just all me doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. Let me turn this down. Because I could just broadcast. I could say and do anything I want, and it doesn't affect anybody. I gotta play you guys a song, though, because I got to get going. Got to get going in about 3 minutes. So let me play you something real quick, okay? BeatSeat. Let's rock it. This is my new one. This is the beauty. This is the Butte. The Butte. Let's see what we could do here. I got this wire behind me. That's a little weird. How do we do this? There we go. That works. All right, let me play you guys something here on the BeatSeat. I love this new BeatSeat. You guys like this new BeatSeat? I'm digging on it. Hold on, let me get this volume up a little more. Volume right there. Gotta get that vocal up. There we go. That's better. Spam call right in the middle of Real Talk song. Unbelievable. I'm going to play a song called Maybe Tomorrow. I wrote this song many years ago. It must have been 20. Lost inside this hidden love I have for you. Father always had the time. Mother always there with open arms. I cry with you. Into these arms I cry again. Find my only way, and if tomorrow never comes, I will walk with the wind and that time and push those arms away, away from you. Arms I cry again. I'll find my own escape, and if tomorrow never comes, I will walk with the wind, yeah, and that time and push those arms away. Away from you.
everything wrong, and then we marvel it on, maybe tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow.
All right. And that's going to be it for me today, guys. I got to break this down and get going. Hit the road, Jack. Michael, thanks for popping on, my friend. I'm going to get going now. I got to get home. But let's put the music on. I will see you guys tomorrow on the next Real Talk. Day 389. We're getting close, guys. 400 days is right around the corner. Shoot me some DMs. Let me know if you have any topics you want me to get into. If you want any other characters to join the show, shoot me a photo of someone you want me to do an impression of, and I'll incorporate it into a future Real Talk. It's Mark Pyers.